Hello and welcome to LentL Day 3. I just wanted to share some thoughts with you today as we go through this season of Lent together. Growing up, E.T. was one of my very favourite films, and we used to watch it all the time when we were children. In fact, we didn't only watch it on the TV, but we recorded it on video so that we could watch it whenever we wanted to. But there's this moment in E.T. where he kind of raises his finger to the sky and calls out, "E.T. call home." E.T. is this little alien who has crash landed on Earth, and his greatest desire is to call home that he might be reunited with his family. And today, as we go on our Lent journey, we are reminded on this day 3 that Jesus, who prays, "Our Father, who art in heaven." I wonder if you've ever been away from home. And I wonder if you've ever, while you've been away, made a call home in order to catch up on all that's happening, or if you've used Zoom or some other online platform to remain in touch with family and friends back at home. If you've been away for a sustained period of time, you usually at some point or other call home. Most of us throughout the last year have at some point used Zoom or some such platform to be in touch with friends and family. During COVID, during the lockdowns, that's the only way we had to be in touch with one another. Now, in this prayer of Jesus, "Our Father who art in heaven," we are reminded that God the Father is in heaven, sat upon the throne, and Jesus is not. Jesus is here on earth calling out to him, "Pray like this, our Father who art in heaven." We're reminded that God is in heaven. And Revelation chapter 1 verses 14 to 16 describes God sat on the throne in heaven like this. "The hair on his head was white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like blazing fire. His feet were like bronze glowing in a furnace, and his voice was like the sound of rushing waters. In his right hand he held 7 stars, and coming out of his mouth was a sharp, double-edged sword. His face was like the sun shining in all of its brilliance." We're reminded here in this moment that Jesus is not at home. Leaving the peace and the wholeness and the safety of heaven, Jesus humbled himself and became a man, taking on flesh and blood and being born in Bethlehem, far, far from his home with the Father in heaven. We're reminded that Jesus in this moment is not come to make his home amongst us, but rather he is passing through. He isn't here to stay, but he is here to accomplish the will of God the Father. I wonder today, if I was to ask you, where would you call home? The place that you live? The place you were born? The place your family are? Many people say home is where the heart is, and I wonder today, where is your heart? 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 11 says this, "Dear friends, I urge you as aliens and strangers, temporary residents, not to give in to the desires of your nature, old nature, which keep warring against you." I urge you as aliens and temporary residents. During this season of Lent, we're reminded that we too are on a journey. We do not belong here to this time or to this place. We are passing through as temporary residents. Whatever you are facing today, and there could be a multitude of things, I wonder if you consider doing 2 things. I wonder firstly today, whatever you are facing, would you consider calling home? Would you consider calling out to God the Father who is in heaven, making contact with him, catching him up on all that's going on in your life, and allowing his voice to come and speak to you and lead you and guide you and soothe your soul? And I wonder secondly today, if you would consider just lifting your eyes from where you are. Lift your eyes, lift your heart, and remind yourself today that this isn't permanent. Whatever we are facing, whatever trials and difficulties, this is not permanent. This too will pass. Home is a place where there will be no more war, no more pain, no more suffering. There will be no more tears. The Bible tells us home for us as the children of God is with him, in his presence, in heaven, in his kingdom, on that final day when he comes to take us to be with him. So friends, remember this Lent, as we go on this Lent journey together, we too are on a journey of passing through this world on our way to the place where God has called us to be. So today, would you call home, and would you lift your eyes and remind yourself that we are temporary residents here. May God bless you this Lent season.